Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yay, happy Wednesday. I think today's episode is like, it feels more official to me because like right now me and Taylor are FaceTiming. So
Yeah, it's like we're actually talking to each other.
Exactly. Usually we just hear each other just like all of you do, but now we're like face to face. It's different.
Yeah. Weirdo. I got a weirdo looking at me. Okay, first of all, rate and review us on Apple Podcast. Okay, we have some really upsetting news though.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to pour one out for our boy Mothman. We are not going to be able to go to the Mothman Festival as we previously promised on the podcast because of COVID, and we're scared, and we're vaccinated, but we're still scared. So we're not going.
Because COVID's, obviously it's getting really bad again, so we don't want to risk anything. So
no, we can't risk it for the biscuit on this one, but maybe next year.
Yeah, I really hope, like, we're not going to jinx it right now, but it better not be this bad next year.
I will not be able to take it. Oh my goodness.
I know, a third year of COVID. Oh, God.
I mean, I think it's probably going to be around forever, but
But, like, this bad.
Can't be this bad. I really... We'll be able to look back at this a year from now and be like, well, this is what happened. So
I know, next year we'll just be looking back like, oh my God, I wish it was 2021.
I don't know. Maybe eventually I would say that.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I just saw Candyman, and I just have to say that movie is crazy. I won't lie though, they made it look like really scary, like jump scary.
Right.
I literally wasn't scared once, like jump scared, but it was really disturbing, like really deep and really disturbing. So I just had to give my little movie review there.
Yeah, I will not be watching that one, so.
It's really dark, but it's really good. I would recommend if you like being disturbed, like me. I have a problem.
Yeah, like all of your stories are pretty disturbing, so I guess if you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. If you're a dark person like me, go watch it. It's really good. Okay, last thing. I have 3 words for you. Greta Van Fleet.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm in love. Yes. I'm literally in love. If you don't know who they are, honestly, go to Spotify right now and go listen to them because their music is just, there's not even a word that comes to mind.
I know. My personal favorite is Heat Above. That song, I will just put it on and like put it on repeat because I just love it so much.
It's so good.
Like, I really hope there doesn't come a day where I just like am sick of it because it's just so good.
It is so good. So go listen to them. They're not paying us. This is not sponsored, but we just love them. So
can you imagine if it was?
I would literally die. Would crumble to pieces. But anyways, if you want to go ahead and get started, I'm ready for some stories.
Okay. Well, this one, we're throwing it back to the 1900s. This is a theory about the Titanic.
Ooh, the Titanic. Okay. Wait, okay, but just real quick before you get started. Did you see today, it literally happened today, which is why I feel like you didn't write it in your story. I saw it on TikTok. Did you see that the Titanic, I don't know what it's called, like, thing in the museum, like, of the Titanic, the iceberg fell and injured a lot of people today?
No? What?
I think in Nashville, maybe. I'm not positive on that, but the iceberg literally fell, and it was like a big like thing in this museum.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. So anyway, for that information.
It's crazy that oh my God.
I know. Sorry to interrupt. I just had to say that because it's crazy.
Well, okay, I guess that happened today, but anyways, we're gonna get onto this theory. So the theory is that the Titanic isn't the ship that sank. Like, the Titanic didn't actually sink.
Ooh, okay.
So, there were actually 3 sister ships that were built by this company. I need to find what the company was called. White Star Line. And so it was the Olympic was built first, and then it was the Titanic, and then the Britannic. So the theory is that the Titanic is not the ship that went out and sank. It was the Olympic.
Oh,
It
interesting.
was replaced for possibly an insurance scam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so as we all know, the Titanic, supposedly, the Titanic sank in April of 1912, and it was going from Southampton to New York.
I actually don't think I ever knew where it was going.
See, yeah, me either. I didn't really know that, but yeah, interesting. So in September of 1911, the Olympic was out, and it actually collided with the HMS Hawk,
Oh,
which
what?
was just another ship. And the Olympic, they were the ones at fault for the crash, so they had to pay out for insurance. And they had like taken it out of service to be repaired. And the owners, the White Star Line, they would have had to push back the date the Titanic was to take its voyage from March to April.
Oh.
Just to like finish repairs and stuff and finish the Titanic at the same time. But they couldn't afford to do that because of all these legal fees. And so then that's why they hatched this plan to get money to finish like repairing and pay all their legal fees and stuff. So that's why people think that this was switched.
That's a pretty, I believe it.
Well, I didn't even show you any of the evidence yet.
It's a good enough reasoning to switch the boats.
Right. Okay. So yeah, they planned to switch them, supposedly. The ships were nearly identical except for the nameplates, which is very interesting. Since there were like three sister ships, they were all pretty much the same.
That's weird. Why did they feel the need to make 3 exact boats?
I don't know.
That's weird.
They were all like Olympic, like supposedly like Olympic ships, just because I think ships of that size weren't really common.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So this was like a new thing. All these new big ships. So they had to, like, the nameplates and stuff had to be switched, but then on the inside they had to switch some stuff too to make the Olympic look like the Titanic.
Like what?
Because the Titanic was brand new, but the Olympic had been used before, so the inside, like, you could see that people had been in there before and, like, spilled stuff on the floors and stuff. And so they put, like, new carpet over tile floors, apparently. And people say that they took out cabins on the B deck to make room for a promenade.
Oh, a promenade. I don't really know what that is.
It's, I actually looked it up because I didn't know what that was either. It's like a space on the deck to like walk around.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So, which is like, I didn't really know that's what promenade meant. Because like, I'm pretty sure that's where prom comes from. Like, the dance prom.
Oh, well, I guess it would make sense.
It's just
like
like
a big
fancy
open area.
Yeah.
To stand around. Because that's what prom is.
Right. Okay, so yeah, apparently they did that, and there are actually pictures of the Titanic when it was being built, and it had 14 evenly spaced portholes on the C deck that you can see from the outside, and when they left for voyage, it had 16, and they were unevenly spaced.
Okay, I feel like that's pretty definite evidence right there.
Yeah, but then when I did some more research, I found out that they were added before they left. Like 2 portholes were added to the Titanic and the Olympic.
That's weird.
Like months before they left. Yeah.
Why?
I don't really
to
know
make
why.
it look like it. That's why.
You think so?
I mean, like, why else? They're like, oh, actually, hold on. Really important before we go out. Let's add 2 windows. Like,
yeah.
That's weird.
I know. I mean, maybe. Okay, and also there's like accounts from people who worked on the ship. So a lot of people who worked on the ship, they say that they knew that it was switched, and that like White Star Line told them if they said anything that this would be their last job they ever had.
Oh, what in the
So
world?
yikes!
Yikes! That sounds murderous.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And a man in Australia, he sent a letter to this newspaper called Northern Star in July of 1996. So this is like way afterwards.
Oh.
But he talked about a conversation that he had with somebody who said that they worked on the Titanic, named Patty Fenton.
Patty, you better watch out, girl.
I think it's a guy. I don't
Oh,
know.
sir. Sorry.
Paddy. Patty.
Oh, Patty.
Yeah.
Got you.
And he said that when the surviving crew got back to shore after, the ship sank, a man from the company, White Star Line, and then a government official came up to them, and the government guy read them something called the Official Secrets Act.
Oh.
It's like, okay. And this said that if they ever told anybody about the real reason the ship sank, or anything about an insurance scam, they would get a minimum of 20 years in prison and not be able to get a job when they got out.
Literally what? I want something in my life to happen and me have to be read the Secret Act or whatever you just said that was.
I know.
Like,
See,
what?
I feel like this is just so weird that it's like, did that happen?
Right.
Like,
did that, like, I know there's not proof or else we would all know it's real, but like, did it?
I know. And also, even if it did happen, like, what if it just looked like it was a government official and it was just like another person from the company?
Right. Just like a guy in a suit. Automatically, you assume it's a government official.
Yeah.
I would. So.
I know. Like, you just, like, yeah, what like, documents did they have?
Right. Was he like, here's my badge, president of government, or like what could it have said?
Yeah, so apparently they threatened them with that. And then, so there's some more proof when we look at the people who are supposed to be on the Titanic and then ended up not going on it.
Oh.
Yeah, so JP Morgan.
Okay, Mr. Bankman. Is that what it is? He's a banker, JP Morgan?
He just like, he's
a big
in
old,
a lot of things.
Yeah. He would be somebody would warn about, like, hi, this ship isn't really good. You better watch out.
But also he was like either the owner of the company or like he was just like really high up or was investing in it or something. So he was like had a lot to do with the company.
Like he knew. He's the one that did it.
That's insane.
That didn't come from me. No, just that's a theory.
Exactly. So he was high up in the company and he was supposed to ride on the Titanic, but ended up canceling his trip last minute because he said he was sick.
Oh, poor man. So sick.
Yeah, but then he was seen 2 days later, perfectly fine. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and then there was another person, Bruce Ismay, which I haven't heard of him. Obviously heard of JP Morgan, but this guy was supposed to be on the Titanic with his family, but they canceled too because his wife was sick, supposedly. But then
a lot of sickness.
Yeah, a lot of fake sickness because they were seen on vacation like a few days later.
Wow.
So, yeah. These people are really just faking it. So another like really fishy thing that JP Morgan did, he had some bronze statues removed from the ship before the ship left.
Because they're worth money?
I mean, they were made of bronze. So I guess so. They're like fancy-ish statues. So that's just weird because it's like, why would you do that? And moving on to a different thing. A ship called the SS Californian was supposed to be, was like able to travel even though there was a coal strike going on.
Oh, that's weird.
Which is like, I guess it's not that fishy, but it's like there was a coal strike, so a lot of ships weren't leaving because they didn't have anybody to like work on the boats, basically.
Yeah.
But this ship ended up leaving and going out like the same time the Titanic was out. And the ship had no passengers on it, even though it was like a passenger ship. And it just had blankets and warm clothes.
Huh. Okay.
As if they were waiting for somebody to, like, a ship to sink so they could go and give them blankets and warm clothes.
This is sounding awfully suspicious, if you ask me.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And so the theory there is that like the White Star Line, they like sent workers or coal or whatever to the Californian and got it to be able to leave so they could be there to save their passengers.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, I guess it's a good plan if you're going to do some insurance fraud and try to not kill people.
I know, yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah. I know, I actually should have looked up if that ship ended up saving any people at all, because I think it was like one of the only ships that was like around the area when the Titanic sank. Which is a little
that's a little suspect.
Yeah, so because of this coal strike though too, there were like less people willing to work on the Titanic. And so they had a hard time finding people to work on it, and there was also rumors going around about the insurance scam and how it was going to crash, so that was like made it even harder to find people. So honestly, I don't really know how they found people, but
How did they? I surely would not sign up.
yeah. So here's another fishy thing about like after the Titanic crashed and everything. When the supposed Olympic, which in this theory would be the Titanic, when it was put out of service, the stairs were removed from it and put into a hotel, which is like, okay, whatever.
Like,
because I guess they were fancy. But the wood paneling of the staircase said 401, which was the number for the Titanic.
Oh.
Yeah, and the number for the Olympic was 400. So it's like,
Wow.
it's like, ooh.
So the stairs say 401.
Yeah, which is the number for the Titanic.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's pretty legit evidence. Like,
I know, unless they like somehow switched it, but like why?
why? They wouldn't. They wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And also a lot of pictures used for promoting the Titanic were the same pictures used for promoting the Olympic, which were like, what?
Right.
So they were pictures of the Olympic because, that was built first.
Yeah.
So they used the same things. And there were like slight differences in the window heights and placements that seemed a little weird. Like if you look at pictures, you'd be able to see it better. I mean, I wish I could just show a picture right now, but
Yeah. People are Instagram to see the pics.
I know, because there's like a lot of pictures that I found that were just like comparing the two, and it was just really interesting because it's like, it really looks like it's the other ship. I don't know.
How did they get away with this? Because it just sounds to me like this is really what happened.
I know. Yeah. See, there's like a lot of things showing all this proof and stuff like that I'm saying. But then there's also some people out there saying that, oh no, that none of this is true. But it's like, I want to believe that they're just trying to discredit all of these people.
They're like, we don't want to get in trouble now for it.
I know. Like, also, why would it matter though?
Right.
So far
Right.
from it. It's like been 100 years. Okay, so they also made unscheduled course corrections during the voyage of the Titanic.
That's weird.
Yeah. I think I knew about that one already. Did you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And like that led to them crashing pretty much. So maybe it actually was planned ahead of time.
Yeah. I would
Who
say it
knows?
probably was. But not me. I didn't say that.
I would say, but I wouldn't say. So the wreckage for the Titanic was found in 1985, which I didn't really know about. That's
Yeah, same.
kind of crazy. But the number found on the propeller was 401. So that
was the Titanic.
would mean, yeah, that would mean it's the correct one for the Titanic. But the people who believe this theory would say that the propeller was switched when the Olympic was being repaired.
Oh. Well, I mean, why not? Like, maybe.
Yeah. 'Cause like when it crashed into the Hawk or whatever, the propeller was like broken, and the front got like a little tear in the front. So
I mean, that's really believable.
yeah. So
If this is that ship, they would have to get a new propeller.
Yeah. So it's either, I mean, this could go for either way though, because it's like the people who believe this theory are like, no, this, like the Olympic definitely just took the one from the Titanic. But then the people who don't believe it are like, obviously this is the Titanic because it says 401.
It's the Titanic. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, either way. And my question is like, if they knew it would sink, why didn't they have enough lifeboats, you know?
That's the question I've always wanted to know. Like, why wouldn't you just have enough lifeboats anyway? Because I just feel like that's smart.
Yeah. So I actually found out why they said that it was like unsinkable though. I didn't really know this beforehand, but it has to do with like the way it crashes, or like if it were to crash, like certain cabins would fill with water, but it would still be able to float and stuff. Which happened when the Olympic crashed. It was still able to
Float.
go back. Yeah. But the Olympic, like, or the Titanic, when that one crashed with the iceberg, it the tear was way too big.
Yeah.
So that's why. But the theory, like, why didn't they have enough lifeboats? Like, it could have crashed at the wrong place and the wrong time. So like they might have planned for it to crash, but it crashed at a different place from where they planned.
They were like, no, we wanted the smaller iceberg on this part of the ocean, not this big one.
Right, yeah. Exactly. So this part of the story is like sort of a downer to this theory.
No.
This is the biggest evidence against this theory, is that the Titanic was underinsured. So that means they actually lost money from it.
Okay.
That's
really pretty big.
I know. I did like all this research and stuff, and then I saw proof that they were like, yeah, the Titanic was actually underinsured by like a few $1,000s, so they just lost money from it crashing.
That really burst in my bubble.
I know, like so much of it makes sense for that they switch.
Okay, well, so what if they switched the ship? Like, what if they still switched it, but not for like money purposes? What if they just switched it because maybe they thought it was better, and then realized what happened, and then they were just like, no, we can't tell anybody.
Yeah,
it still could have been switched, just not for bad.
That's another theory. People believe that could be the reason too. So
yeah, maybe I'm gonna go with that one.
You could be right,
because there's just too many. Like, if they didn't plan for any of this, that's really a bunch of coincidences all in one. Like, I don't feel like that's possible.
And like looking at these pictures side by side, it's like they're definitely two different boats, and you can tell that, like, you can tell that it was probably switched. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like they're two different boats. Like you can tell. I believe it.
Yeah. But also another thing about this conspiracy that I saw, like, on the side that this isn't true, was that, like, with any big thing that happens, you know, like the ship sinking, like everybody knows about the Titanic sinking. There's always going to be theories around it, like just random conspiracies.
It's definitely true. People love a good conspiracy. But I don't know.
So,
like, are people just saying this so we're like, oh, you're right. It's the Titanic.
yeah.
But it's not. I feel like that's what's happening.
See, I don't get why people would come forward, though, and say that they were switched. Like, the people who worked on the ship, like, supposedly some people came forward and said that, yeah, the ships were switched, and we knew about it.
Well, then we gotta believe them.
That's what I'm saying.
Because, I mean, I believe them. I really do.
And also, I just think the fact that J.P. Morgan didn't go on it is just such a red flag.
That says way too much. Like, why would he not? Everybody was so excited to go on the Titanic. It was the biggest boat of all time at that time. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's super suspect. He had something to do with it. Sorry, Mr. Morgan. Don't come for me. I don't even know if he's alive.
He's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, okay. Well, don't come for me from the grave, Mr. Morgan. Don't do it.
Right. Yeah, so that's that theory. Honestly, I was down to just believe that they were switched, but I think I'm about 60-40 on it. Like, I think it could have been switched, but 40% of me is like, no, maybe it was the Titanic.
See, I had heard about this theory before this moment. I think it was switched, but I don't think it was for money. Okay. I think maybe they just thought, like, oh, maybe this one's in better shape. But we've already said it's the Titanic, so we don't want people to back out of going on it. So let's just keep saying it's the Titanic, you know? Something like that.
Yeah, could have been.
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out one day. Maybe we'll never know. I don't know. That's crazy. You know what else is crazy? The fact that during that story, our new little baby assistant, Poe, decided to use my leg as a climbing post. And I tried my absolute hardest not to scream. So you're welcome for not screaming in your ears for that. My leg is bleeding so much right now.
Oh my God.
So I just had to share that. But, you know, Assistant Poe, he's doing well. He's hard at work right now, licking my feet underneath my desk. So,
right, okay.
Yes. But what else is interesting is that my story also has to do with water. It's funny, and boats.
Oh my God.
So that's really weird.
We always do that.
We always do. So today I'm covering the legend of Blackbeard.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes. Okay. So growing up in North Carolina, literally, all I heard when I was little was stories of Blackbeard. Because, you know, he's from North Carolina. It was a really big deal. And I was going to ask you, did you learn about him in school and stuff because you were, you know, in Philly?
Yeah, no, I don't really know that much about Blackbeard because I didn't even know that Blackbeard was from North Carolina until you guys, like, you and our other friends told me about that because I
oh my God, that's so crazy.
Didn't know anything about that.
That's so crazy. I kind of figured it was like a North Carolina thing, but I was like, I don't know, maybe pirates are like a big thing to learn. I don't know.
No,
we literally had like sections of our history class. Like, I remember, like, specifically in 4th grade, we learned all about Blackbeard. All this stuff I'm about to say, I already knew from school. Which
that's
I'm like,
crazy.
I'm like, why did we learn that and not history that's like important? Because, like, I mean, I'm sure he's important, but, like, you know, there's other things we could have been learning. But
yeah.
Anyway, Blackbeard. If you don't know who he is like the most famous real life pirate. So, literally, Pirates of the Caribbean based on him.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah,
See,
it is.
You're really just going to tell me so much new stuff today because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, like, it's so insane. So, okay, his real name was not Blackbeard. It was Edward Teach. But everybody called him Blackbeard because, obviously, he had a very thick black beard.
Okay.
And I'll have more on the nickname later. Crazy stuff. So, he was born in 1680. Old. And not a lot of information is actually known, like, on his childhood and like teenage years. But people just guess that he would like grew up a sailor. They're like, I don't know, he's pretty good with boats. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
makes sense. I guess that's what he does. But in 1716, which he was like 36 at the time, I guess, because math. Yeah. And so in 1716, he joined Captain Benjamin Hornigold's crew to literally become a pirate. He was like, my goal in life, pirate. Which, pirates aren't good, you know. If you don't know what a pirate is, they like loot and get on and steal things and do bad things. So, you know, not good.
I mean, they make it sound fun.
No, they make it sound fun. Like,
But,
it's so fun. But like, if you really just look at it, you're just like breaking onto somebody's boat and stealing their things and beating them up and killing them. So,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, it is really bad when you actually think about it. But like the idea.
But
of
the
a
movies
pirate-
are fun. Yeah, like
Yeah.
love Pirates of the Caribbean. I keep wanting to say Caribbean. Like, stop. That's not what it is. So anyway, Blackbeard and his captain Benjamin, they traveled around, you know, pirating, stealing stuff, doing whatever they wanted. But then actually the next year, the captain retired and he took all of his ships with him. So Blackbeard was like stranded. He was like, well, what do I do now? Like, I don't know, but I still want to be a pirate. So he actually got like a small group of guys together and they captured a French slave ship called La Concorde. And so like him and like 4 other people literally took down this whole ship because they were like that good at being pirates. And he stole the ship and the crew and renamed it Queen Anne's Revenge, which there's like a movie. There's a bunch of movies on.
Yeah,
That's
I feel
in
like I've
Pirates of the
definitely-
Caribbean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's probably where I've heard of that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's literally Blackbeard.
Okay, actually, side note, I do remember something about pirates from school. I'm sorry, I'm like,
Okay.
now that I've thought about it for a second, we did go and see one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies in
Yeah.
theaters.
Okay.
It was for like if you got like straight A's, like if you're on honor
Oh,
roll, you
that's
could
fancy.
go. That was like our prize or whatever. So I got to go, and then afterwards, this is so Philly. We went back and they got us cheesesteaks.
I
for
knew
lunch.
you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say they got you cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
Honestly,
they did.
I love that. That sounds like the perfect day.
Yeah, it really was.
Pirates and
But anyways,
cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
Can't get better than that.
It was such a great day.
We
But
love
anyways, back to your story.
Anyways, so he stole and took over Queen Anne's Revenge. Now, this boat, he couldn't have stolen a more perfect boat, honestly. It was loaded. He hit the freaking lottery of boats. It had 40 guns, like, on the ship, like, for cannonballs, not just, like, pow-pow guns. And it had a 300-man crew, which then he won the boat. He won the battle. So now he was the captain of a 300-man crew. That's huge. So once he got the ship and the crew, he was set. They literally traveled around, pirated, and that's how he became famous. Everybody was horrified of him, so scared of him because he was dangerous. Like, he could very easily kill you. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't really stand a chance when Blackbeard was around. And one rumor that I always heard growing up that made him scarier and like fit his name more is that he would braid his beard sometimes, like in a bunch of different braids, and then light the ends of it on fire to scare people. Isn't that crazy?
What?
Literally.
He would just like walk around with it on fire?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I mean, I don't know if
Why?
it's true, but that's the legend. So
That's insane.
to be scary, he was like, you gotta fear me because my beard's on
He's
fire.
like, yeah, like I don't care. My beard's on fire right now, and I'm just walking around.
Exactly. So crazy. I mean, that would scare me if I saw that. That's what I know.
Yeah.
So eventually, after years of, not very many years, but like a year of pirating, he formed an alliance with some pirates in Charlestown, South Carolina, which I guess now is Charleston. I don't know. Actually, I didn't look. I don't know about that.
Oh.
But it's called Charlestown. So I don't know. But they ransacked the town and took literally everything from the citizens of the town and left them without any single thing.
Cool.
So, it wasn't good. But then Blackbeard was like, okay, I think I need to chill a little bit after all this.
Right, okay.
Like, let me just chill. So he went to Bath, North Carolina, and started running his ship, like, docked on a sandbar. He was just like, yeah, we're just going to chill here. Like, Bath is a pretty cool place. Like, I'm pretty sure that's, like, a really small place with, like, a little beach. So
Okay.
he was chilling there for a little bit. And it was there, actually, that he accepted a royal pardon for all of his crimes. So he could legally stay there.
How did he get a pardon?
He was like, I want a pardon. Give it to me. And they did. Literally.
Oh my God.
They did. They were like, okay. So that, like, allowed him to say, that's why he was traveling so much. Because, like, obviously pirating even then was illegal. So, like, he couldn't ever just stay in one place. But he wanted to chill in Bath. So, you know,
Oh my God.
he got the pardon and he was good. He was set. But, it didn't, too bad it didn't last very long. Because, his name was spreading around. Everybody was still talking about him. And word got to this guy named Alexander Spotswood, who at the time was the governor of Virginia. And he wanted a battle. He wanted a bloodbath with Blackbeard. Say that 5 times fast. But why? Why did he want a battle, you may ask? Well, legend also had it that Blackbeard had a huge treasure hidden away somewhere. And he wanted the treasure. And he wanted, like, the fame of, like, the name being, like, I'm the one who took down Blackbeard. So, also, his treasure, what was it, you may ask? Gold. Lots and lots of gold. Which reminds me of the TV show Outer Banks.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, which is, like the whole
is that
show.
based on it?
And now, so doing this research, I'm like,
think?
wow. And it's, I mean, in the Outer Banks, we'll get to it, but this whole story mostly takes place in the Outer Banks, like Blackbeard and the Outer Banks show. Like, yes, I would say it's like very loosely based on it. So that's crazy.
Oh my God. And Charleston, like you said. Right?
Exactly. Charleston. I know. It's really insane. So I would say, yeah, which I love that.
Yeah.
And if they didn't do that on purpose, that's a real big coincidence.
Yeah, I feel like we need to look up to see if the story in the Outer Banks is at all true.
We should. We definitely should.
Because that is an interesting one, too. Because
yeah. I feel like it's the same story.
It doesn't really have to do with a pirate as much, though.
No. But just some lost treasure.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? But, so anyway, this guy, he just wanted to attack him and steal his treasure, right? So he ended up sending a pretty big group of soldiers to capture him. And the soldiers were led by this guy named Lieutenant Robert Maynard. And on November 17th in 1718, they set out to find and capture Blackbeard. They didn't want to kill him. At first, they wanted to, like, bring him back to the guy, Alexander, and be like, here you go. So they had heard around town that he was somewhere in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. But they weren't positive, like, where, because, I mean, the Outer Banks are huge, like, very much land. So it took a couple of days, but eventually he was spotted on Ocracoke Island. And in the early hours of November 22nd, Maynard's troop entered the channel at Ocracoke. And on the island, Blackbeard literally only had a crew of 25 men, like, if even 25 men. So they kind of stood no chance of winning because there was probably like 75 to 100 of the other people trying to fight him. So Blackbeard, they were all on the ship, luckily. So he just cut the anchor cable and was trying to just like run away, like sail off into the sea. But Maynard's ship was like catching them way too fast, like way too fast. So quickly they like sailed onto the shore of Ocracoke. And these ships just started shooting cannons at each other. It was like just the typical fight. And surprisingly, even though there were way more people on the like opposing team, Blackbeard and his men were like slashing them. They were like not winning, but they were holding their own as if there was this like equal amount of people.
See, it's probably because they had more skill and like experience.
Definitely. Like, these are probably just like young boys that this governor wanted to send out. Like, they had no idea.
Right. And also, what happened to his 300-man crew?
Well, after he went back to Bath, they were just, like, chilling there. And so then he was just, like, in Ocracoke for whatever reason.
Okay.
Chilling. Which isn't that far from Bath, but they were just, like, having a break, you know? They were taking a break from pirating. So, but he had a few of them with them. But anyway, so after the cannons, you know, they're shooting, whatever. Huge fight. The battle quickly turns into a sword fight. And I'm just like, this just sounds so fake, but it's literally what happened.
That's so pirates.
I know, like,
it really is.
so pirate. It just makes no sense. But Blackbeard, I just said Blackbeard. Blackbeard saw an opportunity to kill Maynard. So he was like, I'm taking it. But so he's literally running towards this man. Just picture it. He's running towards this man to kill him. He's almost there. And he gets slashed. Blackbeard gets slashed in the neck by one of Maynard's men. And he was like really badly wounded. But he wasn't dead. But after he got slashed in the neck, they all ran upon him and brutally attacked and killed him. Like the whole rest of his crew killed him. Not his own crew,
Yikes.
but the other one.
I thought they were trying to take him alive.
They were, but they realized it was never going to happen. So, they killed him. And a couple days later, Maynard examined Blackbeard's body, and he noted that he had been shot 5 times and stabbed over 20 times.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, on his body, Blackbeard was carrying a lot of letters when he died, which is like weird, but I don't know. Maybe he was trying to send them out. But one of them was from this guy named Tobias Knight, who I'll get into a little bit later. And then, in pirate fashion, they cut off his head and threw his body into the inlet and mounted his head on the bow of their ship.
What?
Yeah. I mean, they would do this with everybody, like, who was, like, targeted. But yeah, yep. So lovely, so nice, so good.
No. Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, so then Lieutenant Maynard stayed in Ocracoke for a few days. He had to fix his ship because, it had been shot and stuff. And then he had to bury all of his men. And then he was like, I'm going to find the treasure. So he used the letters that he found, like, on Blackbeard's body. And, like, determined that, like, this guy, Tobias Knight, like, owned this barn, like, in the middle of Ocracoke Island somewhere. He's like, I'm going to go to the barn because I just feel like that's where stuff is. And at the barn, he found sugar, like, a lot of sugar, cocoa, indigo, and cotton, which sounds really random, but it was stuff that Blackbeard had stolen from people.
Right. Because I feel like,
yeah.
those were all, like, the main crops and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
especially in North Carolina. Like,
Yeah.
Definitely. So,
Surprised there wasn't any, like, tobacco in there.
there might have been, honestly.
Yeah, there probably was.
But so all that was worth some money. I mean, it was like close to $100,000 like today, which isn't like a lot, but I mean, that's pretty substantial for not really doing anything. And, but this guy, he decided he was going to split it with the rest of the crew that was alive. And like literally they got like $300, like in today's money each. Cause I mean, there were so many of them.
Wow.
And so he was like really mad because he was like, bro, like we've killed how many people, like fought this huge fight. And for what? For like $200? Like that was so stupid. And he was like,
Right.
I know that there's treasure somewhere, like big money. And like, we got to find the gold. Like it's somewhere because everybody had heard about it. And then people were saying that he had buried it somewhere. But this guy never found it. And nobody else ever found it to this day. Searchers, even today, like, they were able to actually find his ship, the Queen Mary's Revenge. It ended up sinking, but they found it. And they, like, went all in it, went through it, found a bunch of stuff, and found, like, a handful of gold, like, little tiny crumbles of gold, which I'll post a picture of. But, like, no gold compared to what was being said that he had. And actually now, the Queen Mary's Revenge is in a museum today. So, that's cool. I kind of want to go see it.
The whole, wait.
Not the whole
ship?
ship. Just
How?
like pieces of it, like
Okay.
like a bunch of pieces of it though, because they like recovered like the whole thing.
That's cool.
I know. I want to go.
Do you know where it is?
It's somewhere in North Carolina. I think it's at Greenville, maybe. That's really close to here. Like I'm trying to go.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Definitely.
Okay, I want to know, like, do you think someone from his crew, like, just took the money?
I think somebody definitely took the gold.
Yeah, like somebody.
Or actually, I'm a little split.
Okay.
I'm a little split. We'll get there of what I really think happened to it. But
Right.
it's one of two things. So many archaeologists have studied like the boat, everything that has, all of the places that he was like had visited and stuff, like people have really studied this, and they were able to find like other small things. And one thing, really disturbing fact, so they found a bunch of turtle bones on his ship. Okay. And this is really disgusting, but apparently turtle bones are a favorite food of pirates. And I had heard that before, but I was just like, I just think I need to share that, even though that's disgusting.
Bones?
Just munching on the bones. Because I guess they're like small, so like you can, I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to think about it, but it's really disgusting. But I just had to not be disgusted by myself on that one.
I guess you have to eat what you can find.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I guess so. God, that's so gross. So, some people think that this treasure is hidden on Ocracoke Island, and that he had actually like heard that they were coming after him, you know, so he was like, I gotta bury it like here. And I've been to Ocracoke Island, and it's very small. It's like literally 3 miles of land, and they're all about Blackbeard there. Every single thing is like themed Blackbeard. Like there's Teach's Tavern, like literally just like everything, which is a very fun vibe.
They gotta take advantage of it.
Of course they do. That's literally where he died. And but others think, those who don't think that it's buried on the beach, which I don't think it's buried on Ocracoke Island. Like it's washing away, first of all. So we'll see in like the next couple of years if something comes up. But I think, along with many other people, think that it was like on the boat with him and then it got washed away.
Oh.
Like it's just like in the ocean somewhere. Because like I don't think he knew they were coming for him. Because like why wouldn't he have gotten more people to like fight the fight? So I feel like it was probably on the boat and like he was trying to leave anyway, and then it got like washed up, which would be really cool. Like imagine like it washes up someday. Like I hope I'm on that beach.
See, that would be crazy if it washes up, but then I feel like if it is in the ocean, it would just get covered by more and more sand, right?
I mean, maybe, but
couldn't that happen? And then it just like gets buried under there?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure. I have no idea though. But like, I feel like the gold would probably make it through, you know? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, gold's pretty strong.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Does it sink? Probably, I guess it sinks. I don't, science, you know?
I think it does.
Well, yeah, we might not ever see it. We probably won't ever see it. But, so that's the mystery of Blackbeard. But you didn't think I was going to tell this whole story and not have any scary parts of it, did you, Savannah?
No, I knew you had something.
Well, Blackbeard's ghost is said to haunt Ocracoke Island.
Oh my god.
Like, actually, though, like, I'm not just making this up. It's really big. A lot of people have said they've seen his ghost. And so here's the thing. He got beheaded, right? So people say that they see a headless ghost. And he's, like, wandering around the island. And he's like, where's my head? Like, he says, where is my head? People hear it all the time.
Okay, how's he going to say that?
How does he talk without a head? I don't know. You're asking the wrong person. I don't know how ghost works. I don't be in a ghost. Yeah. But yeah, but they don't see him saying it. They don't see him and hear it at the same time. They either see his like figure or they hear somebody be like, where's my head? And like, who's saying that? Blackbeard is saying that. So they also say that on really windy nights, which is like really specific, but people report a strange light over the water, like into the ocean, but it's not a boat or a lighthouse. Like they call and check and they're like, are any boats out there? They've checked it, but they're like, no, there's nothing out there. And so they call that Teach's Light, and it's like supposed to be his like ghost pirate ship.
Oh my god. Have you seen this when you were there?
So I was gonna say, when we went there, we did all the things. We were like, we got to try to get Blackbeard's ghost. We went to the lighthouse, which he apparently like very much so haunts the lighthouse. We sadly did not get anything, which is really sad. But I am potentially going there this weekend. So I'm going to try again. Hopefully next week I'll have an update for you to be like, I saw Edward Teach's ghost with no head. And I don't know why I called him Edward Teach, because his name's Blackbeard. But his name is Edward Teach. But that's just so weird.
Yeah.
Edward.
Yeah, I already forgot that was his name. I was like, who is that?
Blackbeard.
Edward Teach. Oh
Edward Teach. So yeah, that is the legend of Blackbeard.
That's, oh my god.
I know. I love it.
I love that story.
I love a good pirate. Like, what's his name? What's his name in the Pirates of the Caribbean? I know it's Johnny Depp, but
I know. Why
am I blanking right now? Oh, dumb. Well, I'm dumb, apparently. Because I can't remember. But
I am too. Okay. You know what? Right now it's almost 10 o'clock at night.
I know. It's been a long day.
Probably why we're just blanking.
Literally. Anyways.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, Jack Sparrow.
That's what it is.
Please.
I was like, we gotta know it.
Somebody needs to come pirate me right now. Because the fact that I did not remember Jack Sparrow.
I know.
Anyways, yes. So, definitely you need to go check out our Instagram. Because you're going to want to see the difference of the ships of Titanic versus the Olympic, first of all. But also, Blackbeard.
Yeah.
So.
I know. I need to see a picture of Blackbeard.
You do.
Is there some, or are they like...
Actually, I don't know. Like, but I'm sure. Maybe.
Well, what year did he die?
In the 1722. I don't know when the camera was made.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
we don't know anything on this podcast. Like, any date. Don't know it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. There's at least drawings of him. I know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, there's at least that.
Yeah.
We can know approximately what he looked like.
Yes. Mr. Blackbeard himself.
Oh my God.
Maybe I'll see him this weekend and I can just take a picture of him.
We can just put up
Meet
a
and
picture
greet
of Jack Sparrow.
Oh, true. Well, I'm going to have a meet and greet with him this weekend, so.
I hope so. Oh my God. I
Same.
hope you hear his ghost.
I would love that. If I hear, where's my head? I would laugh so hard. Like, I would do nothing but laugh. I'd be like, honestly, it's honestly gone now, sir. Very much so gone.
Right.
But I was like, well, it's like it was on the bow of a ship at one point. Mm-hmm. So that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they rode back to that guy so happy, like, haha, look at his head.
I know, yeah.
Times were so different then.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
I know. And it's crazy like it happened here. Creepy. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I'm not getting pirated today.
I am, like, there's definitely still pirates around us, isn't there?
Yeah, I think so. It's really illegal, though. Like, you get caught so quick for pirating. Like, no, it definitely happens. I've seen it happen on, okay, one of my guilty pleasures is watching those, like, deep sea fishing shows where they're like, we gotta go catch this tuna. Yes. Like, wild tuna or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Well, all those shows. And people, like, there are pirates that go and, like, pirate their boats sometimes. Because, they're filming live. Like, literal, they're like, oh my God, there's pirates. I mean, obviously, they're not dressed like Captain Jack Sparrow. They're just...
I wish they were.
Dressed normally, but, like, yeah. And they, like, steal their stuff. Because, like, those fish are worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, pirates are so real. So, you better watch out if you got a boat.
My new career.
Pirates.
Being a pirate.
I say like I'm a like a pirate on my LinkedIn. Can you just imagine that?
I know. Oh my God, I know. I don't think I could be a pirate just because I wouldn't want to be on a ship for that long.
I get really seasick, so I'd have to have a lot of medicine if I was going to be a pirate.
Yeah, same.
So I don't know. I don't think that would really work out for me, tragically. Because fun fact, I wanted to be a marine biologist so bad when I was little, because I love, like, ocean, obviously, and just stuff like that. But then I learned that they have to work on a boat like 9 months at least out of the year, and I was like, well, I can't do that because I get way too seasick. So then my dreams were ruined, but it's fine. I wanted to be a pirate like Jack Sparrow and Blackbeard. But well, I don't know. So anyway, there's our boat stories for this week, our unintentional theme.
I know. Yeah, we had a theme.
I know.
Just
boats.
by accident.
Love that. Boats and hoes.
Yep, that's us.
Welcome to the podcast. Alrighty, well, I guess I don't have anything else for you this week. Do you, Savannah?
No.
Alrighty, well.
Okay.
See you next week.
Oh.